This is the third assembly video for the playground design project. In the previous video, we put on the tunnel slide and the climbing wall. And in this video, we are going to install the safety features and the spiral slide. So I'm going to go back to Insert into my document, and I'm going to pull out the spiral slide. Placing that in, I'm going to green check mark it. And I'm going to go back to that fasten mate. I'm going to choose the top middle face of this part. So that top middle right there, I'm going to gain perspective on my spiral slide, and I'm going to choose that middle face in the middle of the U. Now, it's a matter of I'm going to need to flip my slide, rotate it, and there we go. But again, we don't want that drop off on their slide. So I'm going to come to my offset, and on the x-axis, to center it, I'm going to choose 3 inches. And on the y-axis, I believe it's negative 11 inches. Yep, negative 11 inches. And now we have our spiral slide attached and centered. The next thing we're going to do is install our safety features. And doing so, we're going to come up here to Insert, Other Documents, back into that My Shape Playground Design folder, and we're going to look at our crayon pole. Now we're going to need numerous crayon poles. If we look at this, you could count up and see exactly how many you need. But to begin with, I'm going to insert about 5. And the reason being is I don't want to cloud my workspace, so I can more easily navigate. Now I'm going to come up to my fasten mate. I'm going to select the bottom of one of the crayon poles. I'm going to reorientate myself, and I'm going to choose that center circle of the pole to fasten my top one to. So we can see that this part is constrained on the centered portion of that pole. What I can do now is grab my next crayon, the bottom face of that, and I'm going to fasten it again to the bottom portion of this crayon now. But I don't want 2 crayons in the same space, so what we can take a look at here is I have my XYZ axis. So if I want to move it on the y-axis, I'm going to go negative 7.5. And what that does is it fastens at 7.5 inches from the center here. So simply, if I want to go to my next crayon pole, I'm going to choose that same bottom. I'm going to reorientate myself. I can grab the center bottom of this crayon and offsetting again on that y-axis a negative 7.5 inches. Oh, I mistyped. I did 0.75 inches. We can see that. So now we have a row of crayons all locked together. So I'm going to go to the bottom of my next crayon pole with that fasten mate again. If I can get that on screen. There we go. And again, I'm going to orientate myself. Then I'm going to go back to that original crayon pole that I placed here. Now, I need a safety railing to the left here. So what I can see is, if we look, that's on my x-axis. So when I go to offset, I'm going to offset 7.5 inches. Oh, it should have been negative, I apologize. Negative 7.5 inches on the x-axis. So if we take a look, the procedure for all of these is the same. You're going to choose your center point of your poles to lay down the first one, and then you can just offset based on that same idea. So what you're going to end up looking like is you're going to follow the pattern here of placing your cubes or your crayons for the safety. So you can look right here and identify here, you're going to put them on the diagonal following the same pattern. We have the corner done here now, and we'll continue to do the other corners of this. And it'll be the same procedure for each with that 7.5 inch offset.